Even though it is very unlikely for him to win, Congressman Dean Phillips does pose a serious threat to President Biden. What is up, people of the internet? It is me, Real American, back again with a new video today. It is time that we talk about the 2024 Democrat presidential primary, because everyone, yesterday, in the great state of New Hampshire, Joe Biden officially received a primary challenger. That is right, Congressman Dean Phillips, who we kind of expected this for a while, but it's still kind of shocking, did in fact announce his candidacy for President of the United States. And while it is very unlikely for him to win, there's like a 0.1% chance, if that, there is some serious question marks about how will this impact next year's election. Now, before we continue with today's video, I hope you enjoy these type of videos. If you do, smash the like button down below, subscribe, share with your friends, hit that little bell, follow the social media accounts in the description down below, and of course, join the channel today. Guys, just for $1 a month, you could join Real American. This is the best way to support the daily content that we all know and love. So I hope and recommend you join the channel today. Alright, everybody. And again, like I've said many times before, Dean Phillips is not winning the primary. There's like a 0.001% chance of that, if that. However, and this has been something I've been thinking about for many weeks now, knowing that Dean Phillips was going to run. There is a serious risk to Biden when it comes to Dean Phillips running. And Politico actually put out a pretty good article explaining there is a serious threat from Phillips. That while it doesn't hurt him in the primary because Biden will get 80% of the vote more than likely, there is one thing that Dean Phillips is running on that could hurt him not only in the primary, but definitely in a general election. His age. Yep. His main thing against Biden is, well, his age. So let's look at it. Dean Phillips poses a real danger to President Joe Biden's re-election next year, even though he doesn't stand much of a chance of winning the Democratic nomination. The little-known third-term Congress member from the Minneapolis suburbs made his primary challenge official this week, focusing on the first-in-the-nation primary state of New Hampshire, where Biden won't even be on the ballot in January. So this is another reason why I think he did run, because theoretically, he could win the state of New Hampshire in a primary. Now, for those that don't know, if an incumbent president, even comes close to losing New Hampshire in a primary, historically that means you're screwed. But I understand that the schedule changed and, he won't be on the ballot, but still, it could be absolutely just pathetic to think, wait, you're the president, but you didn't even qualify for New Hampshire? That's not good. But Democratic voters have shown little interest in backing anyone but Biden, which is kind of false. I mean, when RFK was running, Biden was in the low 60s, maybe the high 60s and sometimes. Now he's in the 70s, obviously, but for a while there, he wasn't polling that much higher than Trump, despite their significant concerns about him. There's only one real opening right now to draw away some of that support, polling suggests, and it's the specific Biden weakness Phillips has already began leaning into, the 80-year-old president's age. I am younger, the 54 Congress member told NBC News on Friday afternoon, calling Biden's 5 decades in federal office actually part of the problem. That argument could very well pull some Democratic primary voters towards Phillips, even though most Democrats who say they will vote for Biden again in the primary are worried he's too old. Even most of them are. I mean, yeah, anybody that's, even Democrats are admitting, he's old. Like, we're not talking about, like, Trump old, where, yeah, he's, like, 78, but everybody knows he's mentally there, and when you don't laugh at him, at Trump, you laugh with him. With Biden, you laugh at him. Because, like, you're in charge of the United States of America? And you act like that? That's not good. Even many Democrats are saying, there could be a problem here or there. But it's unlikely to convert enough of them to legitimately threaten Biden's hold on the nomination. Phillips hasn't yet been tested as a candidate in major polling, so it's certainly possible he could gain some traction. He'd face a significant challenge siphoning support from Biden, though. Not only have primary voters continued to fall in line behind the president, the DNC's election calendar will make it harder for Phillips to gain momentum. The danger for Biden, then, isn't that Phillips is a threat in the primary. It's that a Phillips candidacy could further expose a major Biden vulnerability at a time when the president is desperate to shore up support in his poll numbers of battleground states, ahead of a likely general election rematch with former President Donald Trump. I mean, the fact that their own internals, which they publicly leaked, has Trump essentially tied, or actually ahead, in the Rust Belt, Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania, that should be a big fat warning sign. And I've always wondered, why would Dean Phillips, who is a congressman that, was in leadership, if this is about, moving up in the ladder, why would he want to commit political suicide by trying to primary out a president? The only way I can explain this is there are some consultants in the Democrat Party that they don't want to publicly admit it, but privately, like the polling data we had a couple days ago, they are panicking about, wait a minute, we have thrown everything in the kitchen sink against Trump when it comes to the indictments, and his numbers have only gone up. Okay, panic button. We're running out of solutions. Quick, throw something in at the wall and hopefully something sticks. That's the only thing I can think of to explain why would a congressman that was in leadership run? Run for name ID? If you want to run for Senate in Minnesota, just wait like 4 years till Tina Smith retires. It's like, he's very well known in the state of Minnesota. It just doesn't make much sense, other than many consultants privately must be thinking, this is a big problem. Especially with Biden's age, especially with the war in Israel. Not good. Concerns about Biden's age and capability to lead for another 4 years are already his greatest weaknesses with swing voters right now, polls show. And primary attacks could easily reinforce these doubts. A full frontal assault on Biden's age could end up boosting a message Republicans hope to deploy next year in the general election. Yeah, that is his biggest, anchor to him. His age is becoming a much bigger problem. Like, it's one thing if he was just 80. Like, okay, he's old. But there is definitely some signs of him, not thinking straight. Like, okay, dude, you gotta shake the hand of the president of Poland, I think it was. You just walked away. Like, he just looks confused everywhere. He's, like, looking at the lights like, where am I? That isn't good. And even Democrats have admitted, even Politico even shows, they're worried about his age. They're worried about his mental fitness to be president. Given how significant a weakness his age is, it would be easy for Republicans to weaponize, and the more voters hear the message now, the more Biden risks that attack defining him in the general. And now voters will be hearing those arguments earlier and more often. Phillips, the millionaire liquor and gelato tycoon, partially self-funded his first congressional campaign and appears likely to use his own resources at the start of this race to get his message out, with less than 3 months to go until the primary. Poll after poll shows Democratic unease about another Biden campaign, and his age is a big reason why. A CNN poll in late August found only 33% of Democrat or Democratic-leaning independent voters wanted Biden to be the party's 2024 nominee, compared to 67% who wanted someone else. And this is why people are in the Democrat Party, I think, are privately worried. Because, yeah, Biden's winning against Williamson. It's like, no dur. But it's like, if somebody major did run for president, somebody with significant financial support, even within the Democrat establishment, if they ran, voters would flee Biden, I think. I mean, only 33%? That's not good. That's telling you 2/3 of your own party is saying, no, we'll support you, but please, God, no. When Phillips calls Biden's poll numbers horrific, as he did on Friday, he might be overstating the case. But he's right that Americans are more than just concerned about Biden's age. An Associated Press NORC poll conducted in August found that 77% of all Americans, including 69% of Democrats, think Biden is too old to serve effectively as president. I mean, you just start looking at it, it's like, this is a serious problem for Biden. Again, Phillips will not win. You know, he's not going to win the nomination. But he's banking on two things. One, New Hampshire. He's banking on the fact Biden will not be on the ticket. He's trying to get as much support as he can. Two, the age. I mean, Dean Phillips is like 55, I think. I believe it's 55. Well, Biden's 80. If Dean Phillips hits him hard on that, and let's say he gets like 20-30% of the vote or something crazy in the Democrat primary, at that point, I'm wondering if Biden can even win. No president has ever survived a serious primary threat. Jimmy Carter, first Bush Sr., I should say, both had significant primary challenges. Jimmy Carter with Kennedy, funny enough, and Bush Sr., he had to deal with Pat Buchanan. Both of them lost. Start looking at it, you realize, yeah, there is a possibility that if Dean Phillips hits Biden hard and he gets like 20-30% of the vote or something, well, that could be a big problem for Biden in the general. But anyways, folks, we got to see what happens. I would laugh if Phillips actually wins New Hampshire, which is possible because Biden will not be on the ticket. But if he does win New Hampshire, that would not be a good sign for Biden. Because even if, you know, it doesn't count in the primary, it's like, wait a minute. People would just think that, wait, this guy that just entered the race won New Hampshire? Okay, this guy must be good. We're going to look at him. But we just got to see what happens. If you guys did enjoy this video, smash the like button down below. Subscribe. Share with your friends. Hit that little bell. Follow the social media accounts in the description down below. And of course, join the channel today. Thank you so much. Godspeed to all of you.